Hey guys, I'm Polly Roca and today we're going to talk about the assigned GMO given to our group, which is malaria-free mosquitoes. So what is the assigned GMO is about? It's pretty self-explanatory by its name, malaria-free mosquitoes. So we know that mosquitoes are often carriers of diseases, and one of them is malaria. Sadly, this has created an urgent need for new ways to fight the disease, which in 2019 caused an estimated of 229 million cases and 409,000 deaths, most of which were young children in Africa. So what they did was they altered the mosquito gut genes to make them spread anti-malarial genes to the next generation of their species to curb malaria. It is a single-cell microbe that prevents mosquitoes from being able to carry and transmit malaria parasites. So why the SINE GMO was developed or created? They found that the modification developed by the Zero team could be a powerful tool for bringing down the cases of malaria and help reduce the possibility of malaria spreading further. The safety of the new modification will be tested thoroughly before combining it with a gene drive for real-world tests.
How has Azyme GMO was created? More than 200 million people are affected by malaria worldwide, and it claims millions of lives each year, especially young African children. Less than 2,000 cases of malaria are recorded annually in the United States, but the illness remains a major worry for those who travel abroad, especially military people and relief workers. Researchers are looking into using genetically altered insects to stop the spread of disease like malaria. Getting the modified mosquitoes to breed with wild mosquitoes and pass on the protective characteristic to their progeny is one issue. What is the advantages or good points for the use of the assigned GMO? Advantages of this modification is that it would lessen the spreading of the disease and basically hijacks a mosquito working gene to make an anti-malarial chemical. Although the mosquito's progeny can inherit the alteration, at this moment it can only be passed to the part of them.
The primary benefit of genetically modified mosquitoes is that the modifications would change how these creatures interact with the world. But the key disadvantage to it is that there could be a chain consequences that are unpredictable, and these Frankenstein creatures pose an unquantifiable threat that may not have appropriate checks and balances, such as pathogens are known to be adaptive. Numerous bacteria have become resistant to antibiotics. Some bacteria are so difficult to treat because of their adaptability that they develop from drug exposure. It is entirely possible that future diseases transmitted by mosquitoes could follow a similar course of resistance. This leads to the question, what happens if offspring manages to survive? Although the current process creates offspring death, there is a chance that the species will adapt, and no one knows what could happen if that occurs. Critics also fear that gene-drive organisms could run amok and wreak havoc if they were ever released into the wild. Numerous species eat mosquitoes as part of their regular diet, including birds and bats. Mosquitoes' larvae are consumed by frogs, fish, and other forms of marine life. Bats are also effective pollinators of crops. So if insects populations level go down, then the bot populations level could go down as well. The result of this occurrence would have a likely negative impact on the current food pricing structures. And speaking of money, it is a costly venture compared to other control methods. Genetically modified mosquitoes would increase control budgets since GMO mosquitoes are too expensive and too time consuming when there are already numerous methods for destroying mosquitoes, including the use of mosquito traps and other DIY methods. These things raise significant ethical issues at the level of the individual, community, and environment, so there are questions being raised such as should individuals have the right to decide whether they will be exposed to GM mosquitoes? Should the affected community have the right to approve or disapprove a field of trial of GM mosquitoes? And does introducing GM mosquitoes into the wild set a dangerous precedent for the environment policy? There are many other questions, and the GM mosquitoes need years of additional study to evaluate the mosquitoes and possible environmental impacts, as well as social and political consultation. As a result, one can only say, only time will tell.